idea, my friend, how great your life is about to become. To anyone watching this today, I want to remind you that you are on a merge where your life is about to change forever. Today, I want to talk a little bit about depression, the spiritual meaning behind depression, especially for the chosen ones, for those of you who've volunteered to come here, who've chosen this path, who've decided to come here at this unique time and are going through the process of depression or have been through the process of depression. So I've been coaching many people who've been through depression, and I've noticed all of them have a very similar pattern. I've been through that process as well, and I know so many people who are very sensitive, who are very, you could say, spiritually aware, very conscious, but they go through a process of depression. Why we need to go through this process? Well, firstly, let's understand depression for a moment. We become depressed because what happened within us was a separation between our mammal, between our animal body and the sense of connection to divine. So souls start to feel like it's not appreciated. You know, when you get lost in these animal senses, your physical body is like a mammal without some higher consciousness. And when you get lost in just animal senses, in just animal desires, animal needs, like need to sleep, need to eat, need to maybe multiply, right? Need to connect with others. If you're lost just in these four needs, of course, need for light, need for oxygen. If you get lost just in these needs, you will feel separated from the divine, and because soul is a divine being who came here incarnated in this body, soul feels like it's not appreciated, it's not valued, it's not seen, it's not noticed. And when soul feels like it's not noticed, it's not needed, it's not appreciated, it will feel like it wants to escape from this reality. And when soul feels like it wants to escape from this reality, you will feel like a part of you don't want to be here. And many times when people feel depressed, they feel like they don't want to be here. And it may resonate with you. Let me know if this resonates with you, because that's how I felt back in the past, before I was doing what I'm doing now, before I found out why my unique gifts, my unique talents need to be embodied, need to be sharpened, need to be mastered. Before I knew all of that, before I came across knowledge and information that actually helped me to level up myself, to allow into my body a refreshment, renewal. And I will explain all of that so it can be well understood. Okay? So before I explain that to you, I will repeat what I said at the beginning. Your life is about to change, and you will be very surprised how your life will start shifting when you understand this. So when we're going through the process of depression, most of the time in that process of depression, we feel like we want to escape. We find many reasons to be a victim, or to see why we should escape from where we are right now. And we identify with the body, we identify with our problems, and we identify with all the reasons why we should feel like that. But then remind yourself what Native Americans would say about emotions. They would look at each emotion as entity, And then if we go into Bhagavad Gita a little bit, in Bhagavad Gita there's many verses where it's been talked that your body is like a vessel. And firstly, you need to go through the process of purification of the vessel. But then it said, even when the jar is purified, it needs to be filled with divine. It doesn't say exactly like that, but it needs to be filled with divine. It needs to be filled with a higher energy. Native Americans would say your body needs to be filled with the highest of entities, which is God, God's mind, creators, the source of creators' consciousness, right? The supreme being. And in order to make it happen, you firstly need to purify your body. And of course, from one sense, it could be through diet, through a certain, through to a change in what you're consuming, like more nutritious food, obviously, and adding some exercise so the blood flow can speed up a little bit, so you can produce more sweating, which is detoxifying your body. Of course, these things, but it's more on an energy level. Again, in Bhagavad Gita, there's a verse that says that there is a yoga practice for energy purification, which is not truly what now we know as yoga, some movement and stretching. It's more of a type of meditation where you close your eyes and you place all your attention to the end point of your nose, and then you focus all your thoughts to the highest of being, which again could be God or whatever resonates with you the most. In more modern practices, when people are doing this energy purification, they focus on the highest possible emotion, which is love. That's how you purify your body, and at the same time fill it with a higher emotion. You actually, when you notice and understand that your body is a vehicle into which, or a vessel into which you allow any entity or any energy, any frequency to manifest, you notice that this frequency start moving you. Lower the frequency, more you will feel like your life is just about yourself and you're a victim of your circumstances. Higher the frequency, more you notice that you're connected to everything and you want to be of service to others, because through you something unique can happen that can benefit others, animals, human beings, nature, universe, the great, cosmos, and God itself, or the creator itself. So it's what kind of frequency we allow to manifest in us. Like, for example, if you're going through the process of depression, it means that at some point you've lost the awareness of divine. And whatever happened, well, chosen ones, people who've chosen this mission at this time are very sensitive beings. You're very sensitive, you're very creative, very unique. And therefore, when you've been growing up, most probably all kinds of different people try to shape you in a certain way, try to tell you how you should live, how you should think, what kind of education you should take, what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. And all these things messed with your mind and pulled you away from your inner voice, from your inner sound, that would take you to maybe completely different directions if you would listen to it. So at some point this separation happens between your inner sound and outer noises. And if you've been following outer noises, most probably at some point you became depressed, because it separated you from you. It separated you from the real you. And then the cure for that is to get back to you and listen to yourself. But of course, you will not be able to hear yourself if you're still in this low frequency. So you need to go through the process of purification. And for that, you need a safe environment. So sometimes spiritual retreats can be good for that. Sometimes being surrounded with maybe ancient knowledge or great books that can guide you through the process can be a good help. In this time, we have technology. On the internet, you can find many great people who can help you to go through this process. Like maybe this video is a great help for you. But you need to be aware that you don't try to escape from this process, from feeling depressed. Because your mind, every time you feel something uncomfortable, your mind tries to escape this sensation. This is an escaping mechanism. In psychology, they call it a coping mechanism, how you cope with something discomfortable. In spiritual practices, you go into the discomfort and you invite into that discomfort a higher energy, which is a higher emotion, a higher entity in more ancient language. And higher we go, more we know, right? Higher we go, wider is our perspective. So, in other words, it means higher the emotion, further away you will be able to see all the patterns, why something needed to happen, and where you've lost a sense of hearing, of your inner sound, of your soul, of what you've come here to embody, to master, to become really, really good at. And that's why at some point you need to go through this process of the dark night of the soul, where you admit to yourself, I'm suffering, or I feel very, very bad, or I feel depressed, and you press the pause button in your life and you make the necessary changes. You start firstly appreciating your physical body by nurturing it well. You start appreciating your mind. The cure for any mental disease is focus. You can find it again in ancient texts, like Bhagavad Gita says, the cure for any mental disease is focus. Because when you train your focus to stay aware of just one thing, your mind will settle, and suddenly you will not be overthinking, you will not be worrying anymore. If you focus on something greater than what you feel right now, you will eventually start to feel greater than how you feel right now, but it takes focus. That's why certain practices are, long for 1 hour or 2 hours. If you stay 2 hours focused on something, I know it's a tough task sometimes, but in 2 hours you will shift completely. Of course, you can start with 10 minutes of certain practice. I have some meditations on this channel and on our Patreon page. You can find them. But the point is, when you start appreciating your body, valuing your body like a divine vessel, you will start nurturing it differently. When you start valuing your mind, you will notice, well, there's a lot of poison around you. And if you're paying attention to too much of poison, you will feel poisoned, right? When you focus on something powerful that will uplift you, something helpful, that's why mental health is an important topic in this time. You will start to feel the benefit of it. But then there's soul. Soul is the real you. To value your soul, to appreciate your soul, means that you have certain divine gifts like talents, unique skills, something that you can offer, and you need to pay more attention to it. Because when you were a little kid, you were just it. You've been exploring your gifts. You've been exploring your talents. Like, I'm creative by nature, and as a little kid, I've been drawing all the time. I've been, taking a piece of paper and draw was my escape from reality. And I've noticed I just have this within me. I've talked with some scientists. They say, as a little kid, I was curious about the nature of reality. Like someone who later went studying chemistry, he said, I was constantly curious, like from what this tree is made of, from what grass is made of. Because he came here to explore this. And some of you came here and have been deeply connected with animals, deeply connected with nature. And then maybe something pulled you away from this and you became more depressed. Because something pulled you away from your divine nature. And you need to find a way back to it. However and whatever it can be for you. Only this way you will be able to sense this connection once again and walk the path that you've designed for you, that will be the most meaningful, fulfilling, and purposeful for you. The toughest part of this is that you need to make changes, and changes are always uncomfortable because sometimes you need to deal with the voices of others, like, why are you doing it? Is there something wrong with you or whatever? Sometimes it requires you to change your job or to change your environment and to move to a new place. Like for us, me and Maya, we needed to, in 2017, we quitted our jobs, we went to travel because we felt a deep need to separate ourselves from all this known environment, from all people we knew. And that's where we go through when we went through the process of spiritual awakening. As soon as I did that, I started feeling this sense for drawing again. And later it turned into painting. I've started seeing visions, and I've started noticing how fast I'm evolving in this direction. And then soon I've created this YouTube channel, and I've started helping others, and then I've started coaching others, and I've noticed everything started happening very, very fast because I've chosen to follow the sound. This is very subtle, very gentle, but it's within you. Depression is actually a sign of a need for change, a very potent sign of a need for change that is very uncomfortable because a part of you wants to escape from this reality. But you don't need to escape from this reality, you need a change in this reality. A very, very powerful change, which shouldn't be done just through a chemical process of change, like using certain medication or whatever, but rather to see how much could you adapt your lifestyle to that deep need that you have within, to accomplish something that gives you a sense of purpose. And many times when people are depressed, they would say, I don't know what it is. But then if you move from your known environment, you go to travel a little bit, you go into a retreat, you become more familiar. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do this. Oh, I want to try this. And suddenly something very curious awakens within you. You become aware once again of this childlike curiosity, which is often a beginner's phase of awakening. You become curious once again. Like when I've quitted my job, I became curious. What else could I create through my creativity? So I've started learning how to make music, I've started making videos, I've started, making art, I've started making different products, I've started researching how to make money online, or, creating certain online stores, or I was exploring all kinds of different things, and I said, whatever will pull me the most, that's how I will know that will be the right thing. And painting pulled me the most. Painting was the most fun thing for me, the most meaningful thing for me. And then making these videos, that's how I knew this is my purpose. This is what I need to do. So I've stopped making music, I've stopped doing all other things, and I've dedicated my life to this. Of course, there, as I said in many of my previous videos, you need to have balance between soft passions and hard passions. Soft are the ones where you're really expressing your soul, your emotions, creativity, and hard passions are then something that's maybe unpleasant, but it also needs to be done, like building a store where you can sell your art, and working out so you can feel stable in your physical body, and strong in your form. Then maybe reading, studying, so you can be sharp in your mind, so you can feed your mind with the right information. Adapting your lifestyle so you can protect your energy. Your energy is very gentle. Don't allow anyone to poison you. You are a very, very unique individual, and you need to listen to yourself. You need to listen to yourself, so then you can find a way to be also of service to others. So you need to allow into your vessel the highest of energies. When you go into meditation, when you focus on that specific center, like you find emptiness within you. And then you call up the emotion of inspiration, how inspiration feels like, emotion of joy, emotion of bliss, emotion of love. And allow it to fill up your body. The most simple practice for this is that you think about a moment where you've been grateful, where you've been blissful, where you've been happy. So you can call up this emotion and then feel that emotion. And every time you do that, your energy body is purifying and filling with new energy. I love to do that at the beginning of my day. It's like feel as if you're already in love with life. Feel as if you're already a servant of Creator. Feel as if you're already living an abundant life, a loving life. And that's how you're filling up your vessel with that new energy that is pushing out the old energy. The energy of depression, the energy of sadness, the energy of disconnection. And then what's required from you is that when you open your eyes, you do things differently. How that new you would walk in this world, how that new you would behave in this world, how that new you would treat yourself and others in this world. Adapt your lifestyle. If you can't afford it right now, make a plan for the future. And make sure that you will be able to accomplish it. This is the most practical way to get back into your purpose, to get back into meaning, to get back into the stream of creation, where each breath becomes intentional and each action becomes more meaningful and purposeful. So my friends, I hope you found a great value in today's video. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and power. Today I've shared with you painting transcendence, because that's what you're doing right now. The green heart with wings, well, that's within you. Spread up your wings and fly, my friend. Fly, my friend. You're meant to fly. It means you're meant to thrive in this life. You're meant to thrive. So thank you so much to everyone who've chosen to support my art in our store, AttractPassion.com. And it's a store I draw my passion. You're all truly appreciated. And thanks to everyone for joining our Patreon community for more exclusive and raw content. Thank you so much. The links are in the description of this video. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and power. Till next time, one love.